So Eleanor Roosevelt, is, again, so many things you can point out, right? There's so many ways that she inspires people. If I ask 10 women, give me your heroes, Eleanor Roosevelt is on 9 out of 10 people's lists for women.
Correct.
It just is. She's just one of those people, and everyone has them for different reasons. Some people say, you know what, she didn't apologize for how she looked. She didn't apologize for who she was. They all have different reasons, and I couldn't find one story. I was like, I want the one moment that shows all those things, that shows really what this great woman was. And it was, this great moment after World War I. All these soldiers were picketing and had opened a tent city in Washington, D.C., saying that they wanted money for their payments for their pensions as being soldiers, and the government hadn't paid the money that they had promised them. And before FDR was elected, they were actually, the soldiers, in the tent cities, they sent guns and people with bayonets, and they said, we're going to get people out of these tent cities and fight them. When the tent cities come up again, when FDR is elected, instead of sending people with guns or sending people to fight and get rid of these guys, he sends his wife. And he sends her alone. He sends Eleanor Roosevelt into this tent city. And rather than having a gun or a battle or even words, she goes around, brings coffee, and says, let me hear what you're talking about. Tell me your problems. And she listens. She uses the most potent weapon of all, her 2 ears. Right? It is one we always forget, right? Men put up their fists and women open up their ears. And you know what? I hate to say the cliches are sometimes true, but we need to learn from that. We need to learn better. This is one of those ones that I put Eleanor Roosevelt in Heroes for my son too. It was one of the few people repeat it because I was like, this is a lesson we all need to know. Right. And she went and listened. And she listened to what they said. And it was years later that we got the GI Bill because of what she put down to help these people after they fought and who given this amazing service to our country because of the things that she put forward. She went and she was the one who talked about race issues. She's the one who talked about all these amazing things about equality for women, African Americans. It was Eleanor Roosevelt, who everyone said, shut up and stop talking, lady, who would never stop talking. And that is a good hero to me.
This excerpt is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law, the leader of reform in legal education and a leader in multimedia education for the public. To view the full interview and for a full listing of MSL's programs, log on to mslaw.edu.